Welcome back, everybody. It's Just Evil here, and we're doing it again with some Overwatch information and, well, just a little bit of a review, honestly. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. You have 9 days left of the Halloween Terror event, so for those of you that are wanting to get those achievements, you got 9 days to do it. Otherwise, you have to wait till next year. If you're wanting to do the weekly challenge information, you got 9 days left to get those sprays and voice lines, I think. Let's actually just take a look at that real quick. Few voice lines and some experience, but a few voice lines and a name card and a spray. That's it. Yeah. All right. So, if you're new to the game, I want to let you guys know a few things. New players that have never played Overwatch before, you are only going to get access to certain heroes. Let me bring this up real quick. Yeah, here we go. Certain heroes. Here's the list of heroes. Okay. We're going to go ahead and go over that real quick. So, you're going to get access to 3 healers. That is Lucia, Mercy, and Moira. You're going to get access to 4 tanks. Arissa, Reinhardt, Winston, and Zarya. And then your DPS, you're going to get Pharah, Reaper, Soldier 76, Torbjorn, Tracer, and Widowmaker. That's it. That's all you get. Everybody else is locked. How do you unlock those characters? That's a good question. There are technically 3, but 2 different ways to do this. I'll bring this over. All links are in the description, by the way, so make sure you check that out. Unlocking the rest of heroes in Overwatch 2 requires you to complete matches. For heroes like Junker, Queen, and Soljin, you'll need to do something a little bit different. And what does that go to? I haven't figured out what else you need to do to get access to those 2, but yeah. So, how do you get the characters? You grind, or you purchase the battle pass. Or there's another way. We'll get into that in a minute. You don't want to purchase the battle pass? That's fine. Grind. How many games is it going to take you to get all the characters minus Kiriko, Junker Queen, and Soljin? Well, answer that right there is 150 games. You have to complete 150 matches. Essentially 150 games. No quitting. No disconnects. Complete 150 games. The battle pass is free for everybody. So there's a premium battle pass. And if you don't want to purchase the premium battle pass, you do have to get to the tier 55. We'll go ahead and go over that here in a minute. Tier 55 of the battle pass. I know what you guys are thinking. Your battle pass looks weird. Well, that's because I completed it, and it only took me 22 days. From October 4th to October 26th, I was able to complete the full 80 tier pass. I did purchase it because I wanted to see what was going on, what was special, and I wanted the Genji skin. But I did purchase it, something I may not do in the future. With purchasing of the battle pass, you will get access to Kiriko instantly. If you don't purchase the battle pass, you have to grind to tier 55 to get access to her. So those of you that are like me that purchased it, this is all you get at tier 55, is the weapon charm. The other way to purchase, so purchasing the battle pass will get you Kiriko. The other thing that you could do is purchase the Watchpoint 2-pack for $40. So for this $40, you're essentially buying Overwatch 1, getting instant access to all 35 heroes, as well as Kiriko, and you're going to get the legendary Space Raider skin for Cassidy and Soldier 76. Yes, it says 7 legendary skins and 5 epic, but that is all because you get the premium battle pass. So we're not going to go over that. $40, guys. $40 you have to pay to get access to all 35 characters if you don't want to play 150 games. You're going to end up playing the 150 games anyway, so that's entirely up to you. Because otherwise, all it's going to do is give you access to Kitiko, get the 2 skins, and 200 Overwatch coins. You know, yeah, it's great. So you might be asking, why are heroes locked behind the Battle Pass? Well, let's go over that, shall we? So this is from Forbes magazine. Why new Overwatch 2 heroes are locked behind a Battle Pass? You can read all of this. Again, links in the description. But essentially, what it comes down to is paying for the premium Battle Pass is to help fund the future of Overwatch 2. There's a lot of employee salaries to pay, as it turns out. Okay, so the development team's tripled in size since the launch of Overwatch. And they want to be able to invest in a live game service. So from the perspective of the business, this isn't free. Well, no. Even though you're saying the game is free, no, it's not. You're saying it's not free. That in order to get stuff, such as new heroes, you have to purchase the premium Battle Pass or grind it out to a certain point to be able to do that. And for anybody new to the game, you have to pay the $39.99 to get instant access to the game, to all the characters that we veterans who've been playing Overwatch 1 have had access to since day one. Some retailers are still out there selling the original Overwatch game for, guess what, $40. I think it's $30 on Switch. You might be able to find a code somewhere. But the problem is, too, is if you do that, you haven't played Overwatch 1, so you still don't get Soldierin' or Junker Queen. If you guys know how to unlock them, let me know in the comments below, because I've done Googling. I haven't found anything really. So they continue saying paywalling new heroes, at least requiring players to put in an undetermined number of hours to reach the Battle Pass, will unlock that hero. I mean, this has led to the concerns of the community that Overwatch 2 will be pay to win. We've been hearing that a lot. Between the prices of the store for items and this, it's like Blizzard's trying to do a giant cash grab. A giant cash grab. Now, if the Activision Blizzard Microsoft acquisition goes through, once Sony quits having their fit about Call of Duty, which I will say that again, this could all change. That's just something we'll have to wait on. So, pretty much, Activision Blizzard, which this is their only game they're really doing this with. It's not like that with Call of Duty. It's kind of like this with Hearthstone, but But there's other games out there like Halo, Valorant, hell, even Fortnite that's not even doing stuff like this. This is bad business model, Blizzard. Bad. So they just continue going on about why we need to pay their salaries, why we need to do certain things, and why why you essentially have to pay for the Battle Pass. They have a free Battle Pass, but it's like every 5 levels you'll get something. And it's only 80 tiers. But hey, be glad, because they thought that putting a new hero at the end of the 80 tier pass was too harsh. So they put it in tier 55. The writer continues going on that he understood, he started to understand the perspective in the same sense that they don't see gating new heroes as pay to win mechanic. I mean, they're not a fan, but they get it. They can see how their approach works for Overwatch 2. But making sure new heroes are balanced fairly when they debut or soon after will be absolutely critical to keep the game playing in the level. Because that's the other thing that they mentioned. That they don't want to have to put new heroes out available for everybody, and then all of a sudden they got to do patches. For example, Kitiko was not available for competitive play for at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. So, with that being said, the next hero that is supposedly, it's a rumor, supposedly coming out, Morgana. I just said this earlier. Mowaga. Thank you. Mowaga. Mowaga is one of the few known members of Talon, as well as an old friend of Matisse. He will be a tank, and apparently he's the only one that's likely close to be finished. So it could be that we could see Mowaga appear as a tank next season. And I think it's funny they mentioned the Overwatch PvE missions. We haven't really seen that come out yet, because that was the biggest thing about Overwatch 2 is that they were moving from PvP to PvE, right? Haven't seen it yet outside the Junkenstein event, but that's old. That's been there. And that's not even PvE. So, we could see Mowaga as a new tank coming December 6th. Which leads us to our last thing that we are going to talk about, which is the balance update that's coming on November 15th. I originally thought it was going to be on the 25th, but I think they pushed it out. I'm not entirely sure. So, there's a balance update coming out on November 15th. It is a nerf to a couple of characters. You guys may have already seen this, but we're going to go ahead and go over it real quickly. So, they are nerfing Sombra, D.Va, Zarya, Genji, and Kiriko. Kiriko's new. I didn't see this one before, but I did see the other ones. So Sombra's hackability is getting changed. The duration's going from a 1.75 down to a 1.5. The damage is going from 40 to 25%, which is going to help those healers that are constantly being flanked by Sombra. And then, of course, you can't be hacked more than once by Sombra now, which is great. So next up is going to be Genji. A lot of Genji mains are not happy about the changes on it. We'll just have to see how this goes into play. A lot of this was actually already in effect for the Owls on the 30th, which is the Overwatch League. And it didn't seem too bad, honestly. But Genji's maximum ammo is being reduced from 30 to 24, and the damage is going down on the Shurikens from 29 to 27. Next up is Zarya. I think this one's going to be good. I've played a game mode where the cooldowns were significantly reduced, and you could not kill this. Okay? Her barrier duration's going down from 2.5 seconds to 2 seconds, and the cooldown's going from 10 to 11. I think that's going to be a great change because she gets 2 bubbles. She can either use both of them on herself, both of them on allies, one on herself, or one on allies. It takes 11 seconds for each bubble to, well, 10 seconds right now, but 11 on the 15th. It'll take that amount of time for each bubble to come back. That's potential 22 seconds to get both of her bubbles. And the bubbles only last 2 seconds. So then it's kind of, that right there, yeah. I'm kind of like, I play Zarya a little bit. It seems to suck, but at the same time, for people going against Zarya, it's going to be great because, you know, her barrier does nom the energies. So, next up is D.Va. Now, before the reskin came out, D.Va's spread on her cannons was at a 4. They went ahead and reduced it down to a 3.5. And they were like, you know, that's kind of OP. Let's go ahead and raise it back up to 3.75. Okay. As a D.Va main, this just means I'm going to have to get closer to people than I already am. I mean, as a tank, I'm already up on top of people, but if I've got 4 or 5 different people around me, that wider spread is going to mean I'm going to hit more people, but at the same time, if I've got 1 or 2 people in front of me, I don't know. We'll just have to see how that plays out. I don't see that being any different than what it was. The main thing that's going to impact her is that boost damage. So when she uses her boosters to fly away, as most people will use it for, or some people will use it for to charge at enemies, the damage on that's going to go from a 25 down to a 15. So it is kind of significant, but not too significant. Finally, the last change is going to be Kitiko. This was recently added in from what I saw previously. They are changing her invulnerability duration on her swift step, which is when she teleports to another person, from 0.4 seconds to 0.25. And that's because it ended up being a little too long. Her invulnerability ended up being a little too long and confused some people on when they were shooting at Kitiko as far as her not taking damage. So this is the last bit of information. This is going to take place on November 15th, and as I mentioned, they did show this off on the OWL playoffs on the 30th. Didn't seem too bad. So guys, that is it for me. Let me know what you guys think about the changes that are coming to Overwatch. What do you new players think about Overwatch? Have you had to put any money into it yet? What do you think about the battle pass? What do you think about characters being locked behind the battle pass? Leave all that in the comments. Let me know. I will. You know what, guys? I'm out. I gotta go get me another energy drink. I've been doing this all morning. We'll see you next time.